Hello! もちもち、どうも、ワインシです。今日はですね、あなたは仕事に満足していますかという質問を様々な方に聞いていきたいと思います。ところで、皆さんは日本の仕事に対してどのような印象を持っていますか？僕が大学生の時によく聞いたのは、みんなバイトの前に、バイトだるいなとか、バイトめんどくさいわとか、もう今日飛ぼうかなみたいな言ってる人がね、よくいたりとか、社会人になっても、上司がしんどいわとか、給料低いわとか、もう来週に仕事辞めようかなって言ってる人がね、多いような印象があります。僕が調べたところによりますと、日本はね、仕事に対する幸福度が2016年の調査なんですけど、世界、15カ国で最下位でした。そこで僕は思ったんですけど、この仕事に対する幸福度が世界で上位の北米、このカナダで、いろんな人にその仕事の幸福度を聞いてみたらどうなるのか、今回この動画で検証してみたいと思います。それでは動画行ってみましょう。 Hello!
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Vivian.
Vivian.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. My name is Aki.
Nice to meet you.
So today's question is, first, what do you do for a living?
I work in the visual effects industry, which is like a film and series post-production, so putting the special effects, visual effects in the movies. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So how does your job looks like more in detail, if you don't mind?
Sure thing. Sitting behind a computer, editing videos, putting in like effects and whatever the client wants us to put in the movie. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So that's why you shoot videos about, doing your skateboarding. Then you gotta edit video that one, right?
Yeah, I wish. It's my first day skateboarding, actually.
Oh, really? Well, I think you are doing good job.
Thank you. Thank
Alright,
you.
sure. Thank you. And how did you find that job, if you don't mind to ask?
Sure thing. Films and movies and videos, and like I always enjoyed watching those before and after of like any types of videos. So when I moved to Vancouver, I knew that here it was like a big center for like the industry for the video production, and so I started like googling which studios would work on those things, and I saw they all were gonna be at the Spark Festival, which is a festival that occurs twice a year in Vancouver. And there would be the career fair, and it was free. Best thing of all. So I started doing a little research what I could do in this industry, and I went from like on every studio booth at the career fair, and I started asking around like what would I need to do in order to be able to land an interview as a production assistant, for example, which is like an entry level job. And eventually I got myself an interview, and that's how I got started. And then, yeah.
Wow, congratulations. You mean that you went to the networking event, then you
Yes.
got a job, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I got an
very
interview, and then eventually a job. Yeah.
really, that's very impressive. Of course, we are now doing like a job research as well. My professor recommended us to go to networking. Of course, it's gonna be a great deal for us. But so like back in Japan, of course, I'm from Japan. From Japan, we don't have that kind of networking event, so we have to go interview, also like submit a resume on the Indeed or so on and so forth. Just like a regular job. How to explain? Like a regular, just it's very regular for us to find a job on like a typical way. So is it like a common for people here living here to find a job on the networking event?
I think so. I find it that industries here, not even just the film industry, but other companies, they receive a lot of resumes. So if you find in any way a way to stand out and like to actually meet everybody, it raises your chances to get an interview.
Okay, wow, impressive. I'm just impressive. Yeah. So last question is, are you satisfied with your job right now?
Yes, I am very much. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So if you don't mind, could you rate that your job scale out of 1 out of 10? Yep.
I would say it's a 10. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
pursuing my career, my dream career now. So
Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you for having your time.
no worries.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
Naomi.
Naomi. Okay. Nice to meet you. I'm Aki.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right. So first question is, what do you for living?
So I'm currently a graduate student. I'm doing my PhD in experimental medicine through the University of British Columbia. So I work in a research lab as sort of my day-to-day at St. Paul's Hospital.
Okay, sure. Thank you, thank you. And what does your job look like in detail, if you don't mind? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I do a lot of what we call wet laboratory things. So basically, it means I'm in the lab working with cells day to day. I'm growing them up so that I can sort of test different drugs for the disease that I'm studying, which is cystic fibrosis. Yeah, so I spend most of my day in a lab, kind of researching hands-on things, but also then keeping up with the literature, the study design, the protocols, and all of that.
Wow, impressive. Of course, I'm different from field. Like I'm also in a student in Langar College, major in the marketing management, so it's totally different. So
Yeah.
is it difficult for you to manage your study and your social life?
Yeah, it's a very busy thing, and in the nature of it, it's a very independent project. So I'm sort of responsible from carrying out, like developing the project, carrying it out, running the experiments, doing the analysis, and all of it. So it's certainly a lot to manage day to day, especially in terms of finding the work life balance there.
Wow. It's gonna be very demanding, in my opinion, is it? Then also, if you don't mind, how did you find the job?
Yeah, I found it sort of in the sciences. I looked for the program first and the specific lab that I was looking for. So I found this lab that studies the disease cystic fibrosis, and that's sort of what drew me to it. And I started in a master's and transitioned to PhD, where I sort of followed into a different project there. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, if you don't mind to answer, are you satisfied with your job right now?
Yeah, I think generally I am. There's a lot of parts that I really love about it, like the flexibility and getting to go into detail on what I like to study. But I think the hardest part about it is certainly what it demands. All the time.
Okay. So, last question is, yeah, could you please rate your job satisfaction on scale of 1 out of 10, if you don't mind? Also, like a study, maybe.
Yeah, I would put it at about an 8. I think there's a lot of parts that I really love about it. I love a lot of the day to day and the support that I have. But due to the challenges and kind of figuring out how to fit that into my life, that's what brings it down a little bit as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. What's your name?
My name is Axel.
Axel. Nice to meet you. My name is Aki.
Nice to meet you, Aki.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So, first question is, what do you do for a living?
I work in cannabis. I represent cannabis brands here in British Columbia.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, sure. If you don't mind, could you explain the job in the detail? Yeah.
Explain the job in the details.
Yeah.
So I represent cannabis brands from across Canada here in British Columbia.
Yeah.
I established a relationship with cannabis stores. You've probably been into a cannabis store here in BC.
Uh-huh.
Private retailers and also government retailers.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And yeah, so mainly my job is to
To represent.
represent and try to sell their products here in the province.
Wow, impressive.
It's fun.
Okay, it's fun. Yeah, looks like. Yeah. Also, like, how did you find the job? If you don't mind to ask.
How did I find a job? Well, pretty much it was through a connection. I
Okay,
moved
sure.
here to Canada 3 years ago from Mexico, looking to work in the cannabis industry because it's legal here.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a really great connection.
Yeah.
I kept in touch with my network,
Uh-huh.
and then I interviewed for the job, and I found the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sure, sure, sure. You think, in Japan, unfortunately, connection doesn't work somehow? Do you think here, Vancouver has, I mean, like, people living in Vancouver should find a connection to work for industry? Is it, like, a possible, or do you think it's good to find a connection?
It's always good to find a connection, right?
Yeah.
It's the whole thing about networking.
Mhm.
It's find opportunities not only for yourself, but the ways you can help other people.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how Japan is, but anywhere else in the world, if you make those connections, especially in a professional environment, probably always gonna find someone that can maybe lead you to a job, lead you to an opportunity, and of course depends on your skill set, depends on your experience and what you're focusing on. You're probably gonna find that job that you're looking for sure.
Okay, okay. So, last question is gonna be like, are you satisfied with your job? And could you rate the job scale 1 out of 10, if you don't mind?
Okay, yeah, I always say that I'm living the dream. I love my job. I moved here to Canada to work in the cannabis industry. I'm doing it. I'm working in it. There's challenges. Just like any other job.
Mhm.
But I'm really happy with it. So in a scale 1 to 10, I would say 10 plus.
Okay, wow. Then it's gonna you say that you are living dream, right?
I'm living my
So please pursue your dream from now on.
yeah, living my dream for sure.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time.
No, thank you.
はい、今日の動画いかがでしたでしょうか皆さん。このインタビューを通して思ったことは、皆さん仕事の幸福度が高い人は、自分の夢を追っかけてるのかなっていうふうに思いました。なので、僕も、これからね就職活動しないといけないんですけども、自分の好きなこのソーシャルメディアとかデジタルコンテンツ系の仕事をね見つけて自分の夢を追っかけていって、仕事の満足度を上げて自分の、生活の質も上げれたらなというふうに思います。このワイン誌では英語のインタビュー動画を上げています。もしこの動画がいいねと思った方はいいねとチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。バイバーイ。